Welcome back, everyone, to GFL.TV, Comcast, Sportsnet, ringside along Ron Christian. I'm Rich Quinones. We are at the Santander Arena in Reading, Pennsylvania. This belt right here, it's going to be for 8 rounds for the WBU Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Travis Kauffman against Jason Barnett. Barnett was a last-second throw-in, but you know he's coming to fight Kauffman, who I believe, Ron, can make some noise and close out the year big time.
By the way, there is quite a rivalry between the camp of Marshall Kauffman, who manages Travis, and Mike Melendez, who manages and trains Jason Barnett. This is going to be, there's some bad blood that is brewing here. This is going to be very interesting to see what happens tonight. Again, it's going to be scheduled for 8 rounds, a WBU belt on the line, and it's going to close out a great night of boxing right here on GFL.TV and, of course, Comcast Sportsnet. We take a look at Jason Barnett making that long walk inside the center of the ring, obviously in hostile environment, 14-14, a journeyman, if you will. A lot of question marks have been, does he have the chin? It's going to be tested tonight against Travis Kauffman, who has, no doubt, some serious knockout power with 19 KOs in his career, Ron. This is Jason Barnett, by the way, very educated man, and he is a hospital administrator. He's got an excellent job down in the hospital system down in Florida. This kid is a very, very polished young man. He is convinced that he's got the power to upset Travis Kauffman. We'll see if he does.
You look at Travis Kauffman, it's real simple with Travis Kauffman. He is a guy that doesn't really, and he said it, he doesn't care too much about these types of belts. It's jewelry to him. He respects the belt, though, the WBU Boxing Union Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship belt. But his goal is to get that big belt. We're talking whether it's WBA, WBC. Right now, we talked about this, he is ranked 10th.
By the WBA.
By the WBA, and he believes he can close out the year in style. That will help him, that resume builder, if you will, going forward to put him in line with some of the big guns in the heavyweight division. Remember, a couple years ago, his name was the Great White Hope. He was that next great American heavyweight, if you will, and we'll talk a lot more about his career. It should be a dandy, again, scheduled for 8 rounds main event for the WBU Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship between Travis Kauffman and Jason Barnett. Let's throw it inside the ring to Larry Tornavi.
From King's Boxing at the Santander Arena in Reading, Pennsylvania, it's time for our main event. Heavyweights scheduled for 8 rounds for the vacant WBU Intercontinental World Title. Introducing to you first, coming out of the blue corner, wearing white trunks and weighing in at 231 pounds. His professional record, 14 wins against 14 losses, 7 of those wins by knockout. All the way from Clearwater, Florida, I give you Jason Barnett. And roaring out of the red corner, with a professional record of 26 wins against 1 loss. Wearing black trunks and weighing in at 237 pounds. Living and fighting and representing Reading, Pennsylvania, the WBA number 10 heavyweight in the world, Travis "My Time" Kauffman. Gary Rosado has the final instructions, 8 rounds for the WBU Intercontinental Heavyweight Belt.
Travis, Jason, I gave you specific detailed instructions in the locker room. I'm only going to tell you 2 things. Protect yourselves at all times, and most importantly, obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves, bang at the bell.
Gary Rosado gives both men their final instructions. Again, Barnett wearing the white trunks and the black trim. Travis Kauffman wearing the solid black trunks. One thing that's plagued Travis Kauffman throughout his career, Ron Christian, has been conditioning and weight. He's been as high as 260, 270. He told me earlier this week as he weighed in at 237. Best shape and conditioning in his life. The last time we saw him, a little soft in the middle. He does look like he dropped about 15 to 20 pounds. I will mention, too, his last bout against Stacey Frazier. Frazier didn't come out in the third round. It was the bout that you and I did, my friend, against Aaron Lyons, where he actually dropped 30 pounds in 5 weeks to get down to 233. So he was very dehydrated. You know, you lose that water weight, and his conditioning was an issue. He assured me this week when I spoke to him over the phone that he felt very good and conditioning was not going to be an issue. Again, this is scheduled for 8, not 10. Typically a standard title fight would be 10 to 12. This is 8.
Well, I've got to tell you, Travis Kauffman already, look, first of all, he switches southpaw, which he is prone to do from time to time. He already looks sharper than he did at any time in the fight that we did with him in Valley Forge. So he's already showing the benefits. A little bit of roughhousing going on in there, both banging to the back of the heads. Gary Rosado's not going to tolerate that.
He was 263 when he fought Lyons, dropped 30 pounds in 5 weeks, and he said he was really fatigued. And you know, the knock on Kauffman a couple of years ago, good shot right there with a
liver
right.
shot.
That was a liver shot, and I'll tell you right now, Jason Barnett is going to have a hard time getting up right now.
He may be done.
He might be done. Wow. We talked about the power. We talked about the power that's produced 19 knockouts over 27 fights in his career, and early on, Kauffman trying to end this one for the home crowd in spectacular fashion.
He's going to go back to the body.
Yep.
Has to. Look at that welt on the side, right in the liver.
Oh, there it is again!
This fight's over.
Down goes Barnett. Second time. Again, there's no 3-down knockdown rule. There's no standing 8. Barnett's going to have a very hard time getting up. He's winded. See if he gets to his feet. Down for the second time. Gary Rosado says, come to me. Let me touch him up, clean him off, show me something. Kauffman looks like a man possessed. He's going for the kill right now. Round number 1. Snaps that right jab. Snaps it again. Barnett just trying to stand still. Oh, another left and a right. Barnett goes down for the third time. And round number 1. And it's over. And with that, Travis Kauffman is your new WBU Intercontinental Heavyweight Champ. As Barnett goes down, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And I gotta be quite honest with you, a lot of Kauffman's corner and his entourage are looking in Barnett's direction as if, come on, you had to give us a fight here and you really didn't give us one. Now those shots do damage, but, and I'll leave it at but.
We all wanted to see more. However, a liver shot and that first punch started him on his downfall. The pain is unbelievable. There's a shock to your legs.
I mean, he's grimacing right now, and we can't take anything away from him. The right liver shot, he might have actually, and he got caught in a rib too. He might have bruised some ribs. I am by no stretch of the imagination questioning Jason Barnett's commitment to get inside the ring. But I think it's safe to say, and this is not me being outlandish or exaggerating, that second shot, I'm sorry, his will was broken. His will was broken, Ron. I don't think he wanted any part of Travis Kauffman. All right, let's make this one official, albeit a short title fight between Kauffman and Jason Barnett. Let's go inside the ring to Larry Tornabi.
The end comes at 2 minutes, 9 seconds of the first round. The winner by knockout and the new WBU Intercontinental Heavyweight belt holder, Travis "My Time" Kauffman.
Well, there's 2 sides to every coin. On the one, Jason Barnett falls to 14-15. We can question a lot of things. He did take a couple shots in there against the liver.
Coming out here and showing my
Let's
support.
listen in to Travis Kauffman.
Only going to the top from here. Club Reverb after this.
It was short-lived for Travis Kauffman. He goes to 27-1, 20 knockouts in his career. I will tell you this, he did tell me he wants to fight Andy Ruiz Jr. That's on his agenda. Now, Andy Ruiz Jr. just beat Tor Hama, which prompted his promoter, Lou DiBella, to release him via Twitter. Maybe that's next in line for Travis Kauffman. Look, Travis Kauffman's happy he won the belt, but you can tell he wanted to get some work in. And let's be honest, we didn't get to see that tonight, Ron.
And by the way, I mean, we've seen some of the best fighters in the world. Oscar De La Hoya against Bernard Hopkins.
Hopkins, liver shot.
Liver shot, bam, he's out.
Yeah.
Mickey Ward, one of the great liver
Sure.
punchers of all time. Not one of the greatest fighters, but a great liver shot puncher. That's a devastating punch. It's very damaging. But I still understand what you're saying. We wanted to see more, and we didn't see it.
And let's also make note, Manziel Quezada was actually scheduled to fight Travis Kauffman this evening. He couldn't get his paperwork in, as we take a look at a replay right there with the knockdown. So again, one thing, we can question Jason Barnett and his commitment inside the ring. You alluded to, those are some devastating liver shots. We saw it with Oscar De La Hoya. We saw it with Bernard Hopkins. We've seen it throughout history. I want to make a note, and this is very important. Manuel Quezada was scheduled to fight Travis Kauffman. Had an issue with his paperwork. He has a very tough chin. I think he would have been a formidable opponent. We do give Barnett credit for stepping in the ring, but the bottom line is Travis Kauffman wanted some more work, and we saw it was a quick night with that knockdown in the first.
Oh, if he wanted more work, he shouldn't have thrown that left hook to the liver. That was much devastating. We're looking at the replay right there, and you can see how he immediately grabs behind him. That's a very painful shot, and his right side was just bruised. And here we're looking at it later in the round.
Which
referee
was not
steps
clean,
in.
not clean. But again, I'm not questioning questioning the heart of Jason Barnett. I'm not questioning the heart. Would things have been different with, say, Emmanuel Quezada? Who knows? The bottom line is give credit for Barnett for stepping in the ring. But for Travis Kauffman, folks, he improves to a very impressive 27-1 with 20 knockouts. Going to be interesting to see how his rankings go up with some of the big boys, the WBA, the WBC, as the year closes out.
And his ranking's certainly not going to go down. He did everything that he had to do tonight to make that next step, actually.
Short work, conditioning looked good. He did look like he dropped a substantial amount of weight. He told me if anyone was on his agenda, his radar, Ron Christian, it was Andy Ruiz Jr., who just dispatched Tor Hammer 2 weeks ago, which prompted his promoter at the time, Lou DiBella, to release him via Twitter. So there you have it, social networking and social media. But again, for Travis Kauffman, he knows he gets the jewelry, he gets the belt, but he's eyeing a bigger prize. In 2014, as we take a look at him, very happy, very gracious too with his father, and also one of the great ones, Al Ice Cole, who fought for an IBF title back in the 80s, beat James Waring. For Travis Kauffman, he knows 2014 is really going to be his year. It's going to be a career-defining year.
Speaking of career-defining year, Frankie D'Alba.
Excellent.
Let's say one more thing about him. What an amazing performance.
And Asnel Charles hung in there, tough, gritty. Frankie Santos D'Alba, another outstanding performance. Southpaws and those lefts, he did some damage.
I can still feel some of those punches. Heck of a night.
It's been an unbelievable night of boxing at the Santander Arena in Reading, Pennsylvania. Good promotion by Marshall Kauffman and King's Promotion. As always, don't forget to check us out online for all your combat sports needs 24/7 on GFL.tv. And of course, Go Fight Live. And once again, for my broadcast partner, Ron Christian, always a pleasure. I'm Rich Quinones. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you ringside.